All right, what's up, boys and girls? This is episode 21 of the Chaingang podcast. And so we got me and we got Ryan here today. And we got a special guest on, officially our first former NFL player, Stefan Logan, attended University of South Dakota, played a couple years in the NFL and the CFL. Unfortunately, he's retired, so he can't play in the new USFL league because that would have been kind of nice to watch. But Stefan, I want to thank you for coming on today. And how you doing on this nice day?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for the introduction. Appreciate you having me on the show with the Chaingang podcast. Y'all see them boys got they got their referee shirts on, so
Yeah.
them boys are styling. Y'all better take notes. Hey man, thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, dude, of course. So I just want to take it right in. Stefan, I was reading up on you online, and I thought your story is kind of crazy to me. I mean, you're definitely undersized for a normal football player, amazing track athlete, in high school. But I saw that, because I assumed, when I saw that you played in the NFL, I was like, man, this guy probably balled out in high school and in college. But it said that you took a 3-year break in football for high school. So, I mean, did you just decide to choose track over football, or what was kind of the decision process for you to take that break?
It wasn't track or football. It was my life. I was trying to figure it out, and had gotten a little bit of trouble, so that was kind of like a setback. And once I figured out what life was all about, what I wanted to do in life, that's when I kind of got back on the right path. It wasn't by choice that I took 3 years off. It was by some of the decisions I was making when I was in high school. So I came back, and once I got back on the field, man, it was full force after that. So and it's crazy because I ran track when I was younger. I ran like 1 year, and then I didn't run again until I got in college. I didn't really care for track. I just could run, but I didn't like track like
Okay.
Just another excuse to run.
Yeah, that's another excuse to I didn't like running. Just like, I'm gonna get that. Nah.
Yeah,
Football was my thing.
that's sweet.
Okay. So did that kind of forced break? Were you kind of happy that it happened because it kind of dedicated you to what you wanted to do? Was it kind of like a learning experience? Like, were you glad that happened?
I think it was like a curveball. It kind of threw a curveball in my life, but I was listening to Club Shay Shay yesterday, and it had Mike Tyson was on there, and he was talking about one of the best things that happened to him when he did those 2.5 years in prison. He said because he said if that didn't happen, he said he probably would end up dead. He was on a whole nother path that was going the wrong direction, and I think that's kind of like the same thing that happened with me. Once that happened, and I saw how easy it was for football to be taken away from me and how hard it was on me, it did something to me. So I knew I had to figure it out, sit down with my mom and dad, and just figure out a plan of what I wanted to do in life, because I didn't want to end up being, just a nobody, just a has-been that played football that didn't let his talent speak for itself. So yeah, when that happened, it changed a lot for me.
So going from that to you decided to play college football. How did you end up going from Miami to South Dakota? That's quite the jump.
I say this, the best decision I could have made was going to South Dakota. I was coming from Miami, a big city, fast city, a lot going on. Going to South Dakota, a small town in the middle of nowhere, town of like what? Including the college, it was like 10,000 people, and it was just crazy. But it worked out for me, and I ain't gonna lie, that was like the best decision I could have made, was to go to University of South Dakota.
What kind of did you think about at some point transferring, in your time there to go to a bigger school? Because I mean, you were balling out the first couple of years, so I feel like you definitely had opportunities if you wanted to pursue it.
You know what? At the time, that was never a thought. I never even thought about it. It never crossed my mind, because I was so excited to be playing football again, to where I wanted to give every inch of football, my talent, everything I can do when I was out there on the field at University of South Dakota. Like, I want to give them everything I had because they made a decision. They made a choice on bringing me in. So I never thought about transferring. I never thought about, if the school was small, I never thought about I was going to get an opportunity after I got done playing football. So it was never a thought that crossed my mind. It was always, every time I touched the field, do everything you can to give the fans something to cheer for.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I noticed one thing that I was really impressed with. I was checking out your stats and stuff. Is it seemed like every time you touched the ball, you were making some serious yards. Your average yards were quite impressive in whether you were at both college, NFL, Canadian League, whatever. You just have like some super good field vision. Is you just that agile and fast? Like, what do you kind of attribute that to?
I think that was just like a God-given talent that he gave me. Just like I always pride like my vision and my footwork on, and my balance on being like electrifying. Like my dad used to always say, like, this is my dad. This is quoting from my dad that passed away 2 years ago. He always say, "Show them motherfuckers something they never seen before." That was his line to this day. If he was still here, that was his line. He always told me that. And like, even if I used to talk to my parents after every game, even until I retired from college all the way to pro, retiring, I talked to my parents after every game. And that was his line. He always used to tell me, show the motherfuckers something they never seen before. Not in a bad way. He just always wanted me to go out there and just be great. So I always kept that in the back of my mind. Every time I got the ball in my hands, I always looked at getting, 10 to 20 yards every time. Like even my coach, my running back coach, Joe Bashana, which he's the running back coach at North Dakota State, he always said, man, every run is not going to be a home run. This run is only designed to get 2 yards. No, not in my eyes. This run is designed to get 10 to 15. To you, is designed to get a first down 2 yards, maybe 3. No. So I always had that strong mindset of every time I touch the ball, make big things happen. So that's kind of like the little thing I should have in my head all the time, like go hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of going back to like, you're finishing up your time at South Dakota State. You won the Harlan Hill Trophy, All-American track athlete, most valuable running back. What was kind of your reaction to, being undrafted? I mean, with those accolades, you would think you would at least get maybe a 6th, 7th round look. I mean, were you still dedicated to being a pro at that point, or did you start, looking elsewhere?
I was a finalist for the Harlan. I didn't win it. Danny Woodhead actually won it that year, which it was hard. Like his stats was unbelievable, but I had receiving yards as well, rushing yards. So I was over 1,000 yards. I had over 400 yards receiving. So it was like, I thought I should have been like probably the top 2, the finalists, like to win the award, but I didn't win it that year, which is fine. I still was All-American all 4 years. I got records in track, I records in football. So the accolades always mean something. It's always great, pat yourself on the back for what you do and what you bring to the table. But I thought I was gonna be a late 6th, 7th round draft pick. I really did. Like, well, my stats spoke for itself, but coming from a small school, man, and then I was small in stature, that kind of put a damp on things, even though I was coming from a small school. If I would have been coming from a small school and I was bigger, then I think everything would have worked out a little bit better. But I was small, coming from a small school. My numbers was great. I had some of the best numbers that some of the elite running backs, if you would say, in the NFL. But my stature is what kind of held me back a little bit. But hey, God made me how He made me. So at the same time, just work hard. I don't even really worry about it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that just shows for itself how incredible your stats were to be doing it at obviously a smaller stature than the average player. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Just a lot of stuff, a lot of pieces. It's a lot of pieces that go to it. It's a lot of political stuff. It's a lot of politics and stuff like that. But you can't get involved with the politics. You get involved with the politics, you're going to mess yourself up and you won't be playing football. So I left the political stuff alone. And I always just told myself, just let my talent speak for itself. I don't care what the coach say. The coach can say too small, too big. You don't have this. Let them see you before they make a decision.
Yeah, I really like that. So kind of going into, the start of your professional career, you go into the CFL, you play a couple good years there, and then you get signed by the Steelers. What was kind of your initial reaction, getting that call from them? Did you have any expectations for the team? Did you think you were just going to be a practice squad guy? Kind of what were your thoughts there?
In 2009, that season happened so fast, so it was like a blur. So when they signed me, when I talked to my agent and he told me, he said, we got two teams right now. We got Pittsburgh Steelers and the Carolina Panthers. I want to sign you right now. And I didn't even make a decision. He did. He said, we're going to the Steelers because it was a winning organization. They had just came off a Super Bowl win. So he was like, I feel like we're going to get a little bit more shine. We're going to be on TV a little bit more. We're going to get a chance to get your name out there a little bit more with that team instead of the Carolina Panthers. So once I got there, man, it was like it was kind of like off to the races. It was like that bell has now, ding, it's time to go. It's time to change classes like you do in high school. So, I had, some of the stuff I found out after I made the team was kind of hurtful at the time, but I still made the best of it. They just brought me in as a camp body. They didn't know I was going to do what I did. And once I came in, won the starting job as a returner, it was like, okay, this guy right here is making a name for himself. This guy's opened some eyes, and Mike Tomlin, he saw that in me, and he, after that punt return I had, he's like, that's our returner right there for the season. So we ain't got to worry about that position no more. It was crazy.
Right. That's awesome. So, I mean, we're both big Steelers fans. That's why I kind of got a little giddy when, we were able to get you on the podcast. So how was kind of Mike Tomlin as a coach? What did you like that he did? And also kind of what was your reaction? I know a couple of years ago, there were some rumors about him maybe getting fired, because of the team not performing. So, what was your kind of experience with him?
Mike Tomlin, he's a great coach. He's a player's coach. He's a really good coach. Like you don't know, but it's crazy because Mike Tomlin, like the way he used to be in practice, like he always wore all black. That was his thing. He gonna have on all black. He might have on a yellow shirt every now and then, but it was pretty much all black all the time. It's gonna be Steelers apparel, and it's like when he came to work, he came to work. He was a player's coach, but he wasn't no yelling and screaming, and he wasn't doing none of that. Like I think Mike Tomlin only seen him get mad twice. One time was because Antonio Holmes missed the morning practice on tour days. He missed the morning practice, and he wasn't even mad. He just said, hey, we're going to find him, and then, that's it. So that was the end of that. And another time was, we was in practice, and the practice was kind of like one of them, it's kind of like a shitty practice. It was kind of like, it's kind of like up and down, up and down, up and down. It was just, we got into team, I don't know if it was Team Skelly or it was Run Fits or something like that, and we just looked like trash. And he just came out, he blew the whistle, and he didn't say anything. He blew that whistle and said, start all this over. So when he said start over, we thought he was talking about just start over the period. He said, no, start over from stretch. What? From stretch? We 3 periods in. You know what I'm saying? So he made the strength and conditioning coach come back out there. He made he almost simulated everything, like from walking out of the tunnel, coming to practice. He said, I want y'all to start all this over. I was like, wow. And he cut practice short after that because we couldn't go over the time limit. But yeah, we had to start all of it over, which was crazy. But it taught us something.
Jeez. So in your time in the, you played with the Steelers and the Lions, who was like your favorite player that you played with? Who was like the coolest guy, whatever? Someone you really just enjoyed to be a part of the team with?
When I was in Pittsburgh, me and Roy Lewis, his name is Roy Lewis, not Ray Lewis. His name is Roy Lewis. He played safety. He went to he ended up leaving after that year and going to Seattle. He went to Seattle. Man, he was I'm talking about, he went to University of Washington. To my great dude, man. I'm talking about great dude. From when you hear his past and how he grew up and some of the things he did and how he was to how he is now, it was just like, really, I couldn't believe some of the stuff he would tell me that he used to do when he was younger and what was going on in his life. And I was like, wow, like you would never know somebody would go through something like that. Like he was really a good dude. We used to be together every day because we stayed in the Allegheny, we stayed in the same apartment building. So we did everything together. So that was always cool. And then when I was in Detroit, it was me and Nate Burleson. Like we was together 24/7. Like, if he wasn't home with the family, I'm at his house or we going to get something to eat or we doing this, we doing that. And I still talk to him till this day. I still go and see him up in Jersey, which we going up there in a couple of months to see him and the family, new house and all that other stuff. So that was all, those are the two guys that was always like some really fun guys to talk to, hang around and just kick it and chill. So those guys were always was cool with me.
Yeah. So, you talk about, being on the two different teams, one team, Steelers, winning culture, kind of, they have that winning mindset. And then the Lions, they have their history of, the 0-16 teams, struggling. So did you notice like a big locker room kind of shock almost, between the two teams? Was there different mentalities in the locker room?
Most definitely. I would have to say, yeah, it was totally different going from a winning culture, a winning organization, a winning franchise to, like you said, 0-16, never been to the playoffs, but like maybe once or twice, to a team that been to the playoffs and just say 10 years, been to the playoffs 10 years. Then you got another team, 10 years, been to the playoffs once. So it was like, yeah, it didn't balance out at all. But and then when I was with Pittsburgh, it was a lot of veterans there. Like Mike Tomlin, that's why I say Mike Tomlin didn't have to say much because the vets spoke up. Like if anything, if you was doing something in practice that it wasn't supposed to be, or you were joking around or BSing or ran the wrong route, not hustling, the vets would say something when I was in Pittsburgh. Now in Detroit, it's a little more laid back because it felt like you already knew the organization was already, I'm not saying it bad, but you're like, man, y'all trash. So it's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna come here and do what I want to do. So that kind of played a part in performance on the field. We had got a new coach. Jim Schwartz is a new coach at the head time. Kyle. What was it? The offensive coordinator we had. And it was like, yeah, that was Matthew's second year. Calvin, that was his, I think that was his third year. So it was kind of like fresh. It was new. It was like, okay, what we got going on here? So, it was like night and day going from one organization to the other organization. But as far as the fun, I had more fun when I was in Detroit off the field. But on the field, I had the best fans in the league, hands down. Pittsburgh got the best fans in the league, period. Yes, nobody comes even close.
That's facts. We like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So like I said that you got dropped by the Steelers and then picked up like the next day or something by the Lions. Pretty quick turnaround, but what kind of like went through your head whenever you found out like they dropped you? Like what's kind of going on through your head there?
And I was hurt, man. I when I was coming back home after having a conversation with Mike Tomlin, which he was straight up with me. He was honest, and that's one thing I can say, like that helped me, gather myself. Because when they released me, I was hurt. I was driving home. I was crying. I was like, man, what did I do? Like I did everything you asked me to do. I set the record and I'm in the car driving. I'm not answering these questions, but I'm just talking. I'm so mad. I was like, fuck, like, man, I did all this work to get cut, da, da, da. And I had talked to my agent that day and he said, hey, don't worry. You'll be on another team tomorrow. I was like, all right. It kind of cheered me up a little bit. And it was crazy because it was, I think, out of like guys that was kind of known that shouldn't have got cut or released after that. I hate saying cut, but we got released after that season. I was the first one that got picked up after that. Like we had got a 5th round pick. He had got released. We had got a 6th round pick. I think another guy. I think it was a 2nd round pick. He was awful. They released him, and out of all of those guys, I was the only guy that was undrafted, and I got picked up the next day. The first one I got a call, and I was like, wow. The other guy that was a 5th round, he didn't get picked up until late that year, like maybe week 11, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I knew what I was doing on the field really stood out to people because I didn't have a problem getting on another team if I ever got released or anything like that. It was like, boom, I got picked right back up. So, you know, it was hurt. I was hurt, but sometimes you kind of need that for you to open your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, I was looking and I saw that at some point, I don't know if you're still doing it, but you host the Let's Talk Football podcast, or at least you did. I'm wondering where are episodes at? I want to know.
What I was doing it, man. I ain't gonna lie, I was doing pretty good too, man. Mm-hmm. I had some really good people on the show. Like it was like, and I had work after work after work, like quality people.
Yeah.
And it was kind of time consuming too, though, because you know what I'm saying. Somebody, you know, they might, you know, you got to be reaching out to them all the time, just like how me and you was talking. You know, that's why when you was responding and I was responding back, I was trying to make sure I was transparent. I'll make sure I'll get right back to you because I know once you do something, you kind of know the ropes. So I just kind of like, I don't know. I guess it didn't move as fast as I wanted it to move, which everything you got to have patience with it. And I don't know. I just kind of walked away from it, you know. And I had appointments set up. Like I said, I had some good people, and I knew I would have been doing really, really good. But I think I just didn't love it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I liked to do it, but I didn't love it. Like if I'm on somebody's podcast, I love it because y'all asking me the questions, so it's easier. But when you actually asking the questions, it's a little bit difficult. You're asking the questions instead of you answering them. So I thought about picking it back up and just like kind of start all over again, but I was like, that was a lot of work. Like that's why I had kind of set the room up. You know, my wife got this lap at the couch. You know, the background was gonna paint the walls. I got the microphone. I got microphones and all these different little plugins. Yeah. I thought about it, but you gotta have a whole lot of passion to be doing a podcast and stuff like that, which is fun though.
Yeah. Right. I was gonna say you do look like you have a pretty decent podcast set up with that purple couch.
The couch is sick as fuck.
It is. It is.
Yeah, the couch grabs. One thing is like, you know, you're doing your podcast and stuff like that. You want to get something to grab the audience attention, but also grab your attention as well. Grab their attention, which is you. So the couch always grabs attention. I done had guests on it. They be like, "Hey, tell me about that couch back there." You know what I'm saying? So that's always that's like a ladies puller right there. You know, everybody asks about that couch. Though my wife had got that couch from a friend of ours that it was brand new, and the lady said she had the couch for like 2 years, but she never sat on it, and she was moving. She didn't have nowhere to put it. So she just gave it to us. So there you have it.
That's awesome.
Let's just say, was there much resistance, getting that couch in the house? Or were you just like, hey, this looks like a cool piece of furniture. Why not just throw it in?
I just said, hey, it's like a cool piece of furniture. My wife was like, don't say anything. I'll say, all right. I didn't see the couch, though. I didn't know what it looked like. And then you was like, just know, trust me, you're going to like it. Whatever. So she brought the couch in and I brought it upstairs. It actually break into 2 pieces. So I brought it upstairs, set it up, and it's quite comfortable too. So, even though it looks cool, it's actually comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Best 2 qualities to have in the couch.
Oh yeah.
True.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So this question isn't really about football. Just you seem like a knowledgeable dude. What is harder? The NFL or keeping your wife happy?
I would say that's a good damn question. I would say, because I love football, you want to say, football, but I would have to go with keeping my wife happy. You know what? Let me rephrase that because it's the way you put it. I would say football because I don't have to do a lot to keep my wife happy. My wife is I do my job as a husband.
Yeah.
So my wife, it's not hard. It don't take very much to keep her happy when it comes to me. So the way you got to make sure you listen to that question when you ask. That's why I was like my wife, and I say, you know what, my wife ain't no Because you got some people wives that's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
My wife's not like that. So like, it don't take much for me to keep my wife happy or to please my wife, because she know like if I have something or whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna give her everything I have. So I would say football. Wife, not so much.
Okay. Ryan, I kind of like that question. It came out of nowhere, but
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that, Stefan. I'm glad you like that one.
Yeah.
But I got one more, like, I guess, kind of current football question for you. There's been a lot of talk with Aaron Rodgers lately. I don't know if you've been keeping up on it as much. But I don't know. He seems like he's just kind of contributing to his own news. Like he's just making up his own stories, like going back and forth, like with the appreciation post and then him saying he hasn't made a decision. So do you think he's going to stay with the Packers, or do you think other teams are going to go after him? And if they do, what are they going to have to give up to actually get him?
Just thinking about it as you asking me the question, I thought about Peyton Manning and I thought about Tom Brady. Both of those guys were 16, 17, 18 years with one team. They end up leaving, both going to different teams, which we thought they was going, which they both will go to the Hall of Fame as the Colts, and the other one will go for the New England Patriots. But they both went to other teams and won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady went to Tampa, won a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos, won a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl back in 2011, something like that, 2011, 2012, and haven't been back since. So when you look at the pattern of these great quarterbacks, they leave, go to another team, and win a Super Bowl. So if Aaron Rodgers, if you're hearing this on the Chaingang podcast, hey, you try to let us know something. You know what I'm saying? Take Devontae Adams with you, going on to another team, might win a Super Bowl. Who knows? But that's saying like how the pattern goes for these veterans, for these older cats. So I don't know. I've been following it because I follow the NFL, on Instagram, so I kind of get like the updates and stuff. But I don't know. Like it's so crazy with his. It's like so up in the air. Like you don't know what you. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like, okay, which one am I getting? Am I gonna get the Aaron Rodgers with the bun, or am I gonna get the Aaron Rodgers with the beard, or am I gonna get the Aaron Rodgers with the shortcut? Like which one we gonna get? So I don't know, man. It's crazy. I don't know what he's gonna do. Hopefully, whatever he do, he can hurry up because I be liking to see different stuff on the NFL on the updates. I don't like seeing the same stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of just waiting for him to, or for a team to make a decision or something. Because, I mean, he seems to be kind of done with the Packers, honestly, at this point, with the appreciation post and, kind of the failure in the playoffs. So, I mean, Aaron, again, if you're listening to this, Pittsburgh's got a spot just waiting for you. And, Devontae Adams also number one, two on the team. We got them spots. So hopefully they can come because I don't think the Steelers are going to re-sign Juju. So Devontae Adams can just slot right in.
They're not gonna re-sign Juju. Ben gonna retire. I'm hoping he retired. His play is just downgrading, and it's time for to get some young fresh meat in there. And only thing is though, to be honest with you, I was looking at that the other day. The Steelers don't have cap room for Aaron Rodgers. Not even close. So yeah. You have no cap room for Aaron Rodgers. So that's one thing that will hurt some of the good teams. You don't like the team that has the most money with cap is Miami Dolphins. They got $63 million, and then up under them are the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ain't that a coincidence too? The sorriest teams in the league got the most money.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got the Green Bay Packers are 31st, and then I think the Rams are 29th or 30th. That's deep into the cap. That's like minus, 15 million over the cap. So, you know what I'm saying? That's that. You got to look at what it is. You got one team. You got two. You got like 15 teams. That's 20. That's like what 10, 15 million in the cap, and then you got 63 million that you ain't spun. Like, what's going on here? That's why we ain't winning no games down here in Miami, because we ain't spending no money. We not bringing no talent. We not buying no good players that we want to see. You know, we getting washed up guys that been in the league for a whole 10, 12 years that's ready to be done. And then all of a sudden now we want them to bring magic to the team. Oh, man, go get some of the young boys. That's just me speaking. You know, Brian Flores is not even there anymore. He's with you guys now. So, hey, glad he jumped on the team. But, yeah, that's how it's been going so far.
Yeah. I was just say I agree. The Dolphins need to start spending some money on some players and not paying to lose games.
Listen,
yeah,
one of my best friend. He's a diehard Dolphin fan. Lord have mercy. King Hall is his name, and he gonna listen to this podcast. He gonna listen to this podcast just so y'all know. Chaingang podcast. King Hall is his name. Diehard Dolphin fan. My best friend. We get into it when during the season. We probably got into it every day about them Dolphins. Every day we get into about the Dolphins because it was always something. He's a Tua fan. He's left-handed.
That's
so
a
if
tough.
You bring that up. That's a sore subject for him because he's left-handed. He played quarterback. Tua's left-handed. Tua played quarterback. He see no wrong in Tua. Everything is Tua. So yeah, that's for you, bro.
Man, that's a tough bus to hop on there. Yeah, I know we're not the biggest fans of Tua, but I think the Dolphins will stay with him. I don't know, we'll see. But Stefan, we got one last question for you. A question we ask all of our guests. You're on a long road trip, you know, you're starting to get hungry, see a gas station, you pull over. What is your go-to gas station snack that you're gonna pick up?
Reese's Pieces.
Oh,
okay.
That's a good
I like
pick.
that, dude. I was gonna say I'm a big Reese's guy.
Reese's Pieces, most definitely. As soon as I go in, Reese's.
Yeah, 100%. Do you get a drink along with that, or just the Reese's Pieces?
Well, I didn't know if I had the option that I would. Okay. Since I have the option, if I walk in, like you said, on a long road, driving down, I see a gas station, I pull up, I go in. I'm gonna get a purple Gatorade, and I'm gonna get a Reese's Pieces. The 4-pack Reese's Pieces.
Okay. Ooh. Man, purple. What makes you choose purple? I mean, red and blue are so much better, I think.
I don't really care for the red. I don't care for it very much because it stains your teeth. The blue, I do like the blue, but the purple, for some reason, it's like have a little bit more sugar in it. I don't know. I just feel like the purple have a little more sugar in it, and I'm already gonna have 4 Reese's cups. So that's enough sugar.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to get that sugar all in.
Yeah. I have a sugar rush. So yeah, that'll be my go-to. You know, when I walk in the store, I'm gonna get me a purple Gatorade, 4-pack Reese's, and I'm out.
Plus, if you bring it home, you spill the Gatorade on the couch. It's no big deal.
There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say unconsciously, I think you're going with that purple Gatorade because you look at that couch all the time.
No. I only see this couch when I come up to the office and doing podcasts. My wife doing something on the thing. So but it is a nice couch though. It is.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the questions we got for you, Stefan. Thank you for taking your time to do this with us. I know we were really excited to have you on, our first former NFL player. So thank you again.
Hey man, thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on the show. Mm-hmm. Like I said, y'all boys check out the Chain. It's a Chaingang, right?
Yeah, Chaingang.
Yeah, the Chaingang podcast. Hey, these gentlemen gonna keep it going. Hey, but y'all also check out your boy on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but Instagram, Stefan Logan _0. Mm-hmm. My page is now all about cycling and fitness because that's what I do now. You can follow me on TikTok. It's called Cycling and Fitness on TikTok. My Facebook is Stefan Logan. You can find me on there. Facebook, I don't really care about very much, but now I just got new on TikTok. And I'm heavy on Instagram, so y'all can find me on there. But y'all stay tuned. Your boy Chaingang finna get it right. And y'all be watching, looking at them boys' shirts. That's what caught my attention, the referee shirts. Them boys tuned in.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Stefan. I'll drop all his information in the description. Thanks again, for coming on. And boys and girls, we will see you next week.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Y'all boys be safe.
Thank you very much.